So here's the situation. In the first video, I showed you why the milk house needed renovation and started by tearing off the roof, tearing out the ceiling and the electrical stuff, and jacking up the roof. Last time I smoothed out the wall and installed a row of glass blocks. Now it's time to fill in around those and jack the roof up even further. First, at the back on the east side, the wall of the milk house meets a retaining wall. The gap there is part of why the back of the roof was on the ground. Therefore, in raising the milk house roof, I also need to raise the retaining wall. Here we're looking down from the top. I put a piece of scrap OSB in there, and then the mortar, and then some big rocks. This is a pattern you'll see over and over. In most places, I put up a form at the back, either on the inside or at a place that will be invisible when it's done. This gives me an easy point of reference to keep the wall vertical, and it means I can just fill in behind with stones and mortar. It's kind of a half slip form technique. Once I have that form up, then I choose stones and I test them for fit. Sometimes I mark them. Usually I just remember where they go. If you look closely, you might be able to see these are marked. Usually I can find a stone that fits the spot pretty well, but occasionally I have to cheat. At first I did that this way. That does work, but it's time consuming and there's a faster way. Modern technology to the rescue. That's a 4.5-inch masonry disc cutting a score line, and then the chisel is much more effective. Probably I could do this in just a couple of hard blows, but I don't want to shatter it, so I take a little care. Then I mix up a small amount of mortar at a time. This is approximately type S mortar. I'm no expert, but according to the sources I've found, type S is best for structural masonry which is exposed to the elements. Most of this will be under the eaves, but I thought it was best to stick with S. This is a mix of 4 scoops of sand, 1 scoop of Portland cement, and a half scoop of mason's lime. So that gives me 8 parts of sand to 2 parts of Portland cement and 1 part lime. Then I take the test fit stones out and I put them back with mortar. Mortar adheres better to wet stones. I'm careful to fully bed them in and to make sure that they're 1 stone over 2 and 2 over 1. You don't want any vertical breaks lined up through the stones. Usually I'll fill in behind them with mortar and rubble, although I don't have to do it at exactly the same time. You'll notice here some of the mortar falling out as I do it. That's no problem because the blue mortar pan is sitting on a board about a foot below, out of the frame, and most of that's just falling back into the pan. There. One more section done. Here's what that corner looks like now. I haven't done the grout work around the glass block yet. Well, then the inspector came by to check my work. He crawled all over it, but he didn't say anything, so I guess it passed.